All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Wednesday. Let's go. It's, what is this, October 29th today, 2025. We're getting so close to Halloween. So I've been making some spooky thumbnails. Check out the thumbnail if you get the chance. Guys, it's We Grow Wednesday, 1 o'clock Central Time every Wednesday. I'm your host, Waylon, the indoor farmer, and today we've got a bunch of things to talk about. But before we do, head over to locals.com. Sign up for free. Find my community, theindoorfarmer.locals.com, and you can sign up and be a supporter for $2 a month. And at the low end, you can also go up to pro membership and all that good stuff. But anyway, we're going to play a little intro to get those notifications out to your friends and my friends. And if you could help us out, tag some friends and share this out. We'll be right back in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's grow.
When the indoor farmer has a tale to tell, under the glow of LED lights where his stories dwell. He's not just growing greens, he's sowing seeds of thought. In a studio with a microphone where wisdom's bought. We grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time. With Waylon, we'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time. We'll live and we'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Join Waylon for our journey so fine. Learning, laughing, and sometimes sad, but always together from the good to the bad. He speaks of the benefits, the pros and the cons of the plant that has helped him feel less withdrawn. With guests from all walks, stories to share, Waylon makes sure that no one feels like they're there alone. So come every Wednesday, find your place in his light, where Waylon, the indoor farmer, invites you to grow not just plants, but your soul, your mind, in a world where together we're truly aligned. Tune in, grow with us, let's expand our view on We Grow Wednesday with Waylon. It's true.
Waylon, the indoor farmer, has a tale to tell. Under the glow of LED lights where his stories dwell. He's not just growing greens, he's sowing seeds of thought. In a studio with a microphone where wisdom's taught. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time with Waylon. We'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, his shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs, and yes, the wear and tear. On We Grow Wednesday, we're all one big team. Growing together is the ultimate dream. We Grow Wednesday from 8 to 9. Tune in, folks, for a communal time with Waylon. We'll learn to grow in life, in love, and in what we sow. He's a man of the soil and a man of the word, a veteran with a vision, his voice undeterred. From cannabis tales to the latest farm tech, he shows where the nerds and the farmers intersect. He lights up the airwaves with truth and care, sharing joys, the highs and yes, the wear and tear.
When indoor farm.
And last couple of tags. I could keep tagging all day long. That doesn't mean people are open or free at that time. And it doesn't matter what time of the day I decide to pick. It could be later on. It could be prime time. It could be anything. So you know what? I appreciate those who do have the time, and I appreciate everybody who watches this later, rewatches the show. Tell me in the comments, like, hey, I watched a little bit of it. I liked this part or something. I didn't like this part, whatever. Let me know in any of my shows. 5 different shows a week. If you go to my page or my profile on Facebook and you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see my schedule for the week that's pinned. And it should be easy to read, and you should be able to tell when I do what and why and this and that. So what's up, everybody? We're back. It's We Grow Wednesday. I don't do episodes on Wednesday because it's kind of a in the moment topical, almost basically news show, which I actually forgot to change that. Normally I put it as news on Rumble because you don't have to be like some kind of journalist to talk about the news. But what I think of on Wednesday is a show that is centered around looking at articles and happenings, whether it be online or something that I find. Like sometimes I'll have a farm newspaper. There's like these different almanacs that come out and stuff. And we talk about what's going on with our agriculture, with our health, our wellness, our food supply, all of those things. And sometimes it gets a little political. We look at what's going on with our psilocybin and cannabis legalizations with a website called marijuanamoment.net. Shouts out to the website. And we look at a few other websites and we check out what's going on. Some of it is more fun and just interesting. Oh, this food dish or whatever, that kind of food apparatus or cookware. But then other times it can be more, I guess, contentious, if you will. Before we get started, though, head over to locals.com and sign up for free, and then go join my locals community for free. And you get in on the live after sesh for free. And if you decide that you like it, you can sign up and become a supporter for $2 a month. Pretty good deal. So go check it out. Get all kinds of perks and whatnot. It's a thing. So we're going to get into it here. I do have a guest that's supposed to be coming on at some point here. Let's see, 2 o'clock today, correct? Or do you want what time zone? 2 Central. All right now is fine. I think we have a time zone, a little bit of a mix up. Let's see, I will tag him. I'm going to tag him. I don't know that he's going to see it, but we'll tag him. We're going to have him in here at some point, guys. We're going to get Mr. the Soil King in here. We had him in about a year ago and talked about things. I think this time we're just going to let it flow. I mean, we've met enough times now, and we're just going to kind of see what's new with them, and we may end up talking about soil. We may not. It's not going to be intensive about some kind of specific, microbe or anything like that today. When he does come on, I'm going to respect his time. I don't know that he's going to have a whole lot anyway, so we'll see how that goes. But if once I hear from him and whatnot, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, I guess we should do a couple of things real quick. Like, remember next month I am already planning to take 1 week off, so game night will only be 3 weeks at the most next month. And I want to point this out here too. Let's pull it up. Let's see my Rumblers. If you guys could, over on the Facebook or anywhere, if you could, please come to Rumble. Rumble is, I got kind of sad. I lost 2 followers on Rumble in the last month. It's not very, it's not like a crazy drop up and down, but it's sad. I should push Rumble more. Let's see it. Let's get the Rumble going on fire. Charity, hello. We got Kayla in the house. Hello, hello. And who else? We got Diane. Hello, Diane. We got Andrew. What's up, my guy? I'll be back, he says. Okay, no worries. And, of course, MJ. I appreciate you with the hashtags. But don't forget about this giveaway, guys. It's free. And I've had it up for way too long. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe here we'll do this. We'll share it to the story. That doesn't really do a whole lot, but make sure that you look at the rules and see what you got to do and get in on this. I'm going to be doing the spin here soon. I don't know that I'm going to do another one. It looks like, 25 people liking it, 38 comments. That might be a lot of my comments there too. So I'm going to say at most 25 people that wanted it and 16 people that shared it for the extra spot. So I can't say that I can do that for, all the way down to the last person that wants one, you know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they say. From Level Up Mycology. I should have got their logo, put it on here somehow. Get the logo on there somehow. All right. Let me start. We're going to start with a couple of quick and easy ones. Actually, you know what? I do have some good ones on Facebook that I meant to pull up. I like to share things. If you follow me on Facebook on my profile, I like to share things that are nifty, gadgets when it comes to health and sustainability and taking care of things. I just stuff that I think is interesting, or I like to share funny things too. But here it is. Here's one item I think which is really cool. Oh, Diane on the Rumble, let's go! I want to see Rumble pumped up, just way higher than yesterday. Make sure you guys do the reshare on Rumble, which is it's inside Rumble. You have to make a title, and then supposedly puts it into this its own reshare area, I guess. Feed. That's right. Okay, here it is. Check this out. Look at this. Hey, watch. Resume video. Look at that for all the dog owners out there. I mean, I have a fancy schmancy pooper picker upper, but not like this. I mean, this kind of makes you feel like a cat, like a cat litter box. It's called Neither Pet or Neater Pet. Neater Pet. Would you guys use this? Comment below. Tell me what you think. Let me catch up the comments here. Okay, headed to Rumble, but I have to go take a shower. Oh, that's okay. I appreciate it, Diane. I'm just tagging some friends, see who's around today. If you guys could help me out, tag a friend or two on the Facebook, and then we'll, sweet talk them into coming over to Rumble. Same thing they use for commercial berry picking. Oh, that makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Cullen. Cullen Smith. Oh, that makes sense. Cullen, where's Cullen at today? Let's see what he's up to. Cullen. Here we are. There it is. Okay. Let's get it hopping in the house on this hump day. Or we like to call it Wayland Wednesday. Look at that. That's such a cool. I think that's such a cool thing. Oh yeah, so we got some treats from Doodlekin's Barkery. There's something else here that I wanted to show you guys. Let's keep it moving. Okay, okay. Oh yeah. So what do you guys think of this use of wonder what the music is. Okay, well I don't want to play the music, but this is a cool idea. It's a cool idea. Of course, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like the kid is old enough to be swinging it the legs. Looks like a little girl. How is it? How is it going still? Does he just grab it every now and then and push it again? Maybe, I wonder. Interesting. It's a cool thing, cool idea though, to incorporate exercise with the kids that are trying to have fun with, say, playground equipment. I have some thoughts on this myself, and I hope to do something like this. Looks neat. Can use that on the rabbits. Oh yeah, on the rabbit poop. Yeah, a smaller one though. Like that thing had like, I don't know, the finger things, or the whatever you call them, the spikes looked like they were a little bit too much space in between. That'd be awesome for poo. Does it come with a longer handle? You know what? I didn't see the longer handle, and you know the it is for poo, Margaret. I'm pretty sure they just wanted to use pine cones simulate to simulate. But back to this guy. So my plan, or my idea, is to somehow harness that kinetic energy that kids expend by playing on playground equipment. And you can do that with just about anything that moves, right? So swing set, or seesaw, teeter totter, you might call it, or I believe you could do it with a, what do you call a merry-go-round? No, what do you call it? Is it a merry-go-round? Yeah. Anyway, a lot of things. I'm on a rant, but I'm in California. Okay, well, okay, okay, cool. 1 second. Let me just tell him. Call me on Facebook Messenger video chat. Okay, let me go back to this. We're gonna pull up the phone call here on my screen. I hope I'm not too tiny when we do this. I think I can do it. Okay, I remember how I can do it from last time. Yeah, we got this. In fact, we're gonna do it something like this. And here we go. We've got, pull the chat back up.
What's
Cool.
happening? You want me to
Hey,
turn
hey.
sideways?
Sure, that works. Yeah, cool. You can kind of see the what everybody else sees in the corner, but it's trippy for us. But I think it works out for everybody else. Anyway, we're on something called Rumble. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool. We didn't have time for me to worry about trying to get you into it, but it's kind of like it's a studio that allows me to stream out to a bunch of other places, and you'd have to download an app and things like that. So, long story short, this works out well for now.
Yeah,
And
great.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you hanging
Yeah,
out.
sorry. We're like, yeah, we've got the timing. I'm
Yeah,
not in Arizona now, and I'm in California.
nice. So, well, that's
Yeah.
good. That actually worked out because when you told me you had a emergency meeting, I was like, okay, it's exactly the same time. But then 2 hours difference, great. We're good. We're golden.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
golden.
got another hour and 45 minutes for that one,
Yeah.
which is it's a great meeting. Yeah, I'm super excited. Are we
Yeah, that
live
is
right
cool.
now?
We are live right now.
Awesome. What's happening out there?
We've got 12 in the house right now. I'm hoping we can get more. We just started a few minutes ago. Looking like we got some comments here, guys. Make sure that you hold your comments, like make sure write it down or something because I may not see them right away. If you have any questions for the Soil King, this is going to be just like informal, man. This is
Uh-huh.
a we've
That's
been
how
on
I do it.
before,
My life
yeah,
is informal.
for sure. I mean, or at least um, there's another word for it, impromptu, or there's a skill for being able to improvisation, but that's that's not always comedy. You know, it's like you can be um, in the moment and be able to just come up with words and come up with your thoughts. And I appreciate that about you. I like that because I see you at the on stage. I know that you're just like riffing, and you're having a great time. Yeah,
Even when I'm doing professional content, and, with what I mean, Showtime and all this shit is it's all script. It's nothing scripted. I can't. There's no character to script. It's just off the cuff. Conversations and dialogue is where it's at, and put me in front of a camera and let's just have a talk, or throw me on stage and let's Q&A. And
right.
I'm not always right, and I definitely don't have all the answers, and that's why I love our audience, because our audience, we build this stuff together and figure out solutions for everything. I love it.
That is a weird thing because I think we're liking that, but then there are very few times where like a promotional thing or whatever it might be where you have to take a few takes and you're like,
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I don't know, it feels weird, but it's like, okay,
Well,
or like,
my editors always they train me. They're like, okay, your energy's not up. All right, do some jumping jacks. I start getting this, get your energy up, and then boom, we go back into it, right? So yeah, that kind of stuff. You got to retakes are good, or sometimes you cuss too much, you need some cutouts, or you say something stupid and you're embarrassed. So, but being authentic, and we all fuck up, and we all say things we don't mean to say, and we're all learning. So for me, it's like, man, let's roll.
that's always been kind of uh I don't know, something like a jealousy maybe, or there's another word for it where I envy the people that do the pre-recorded podcast where they can edit out all the boring parts and get everything perfect. But I love it live, man. I love to just talk to the
Yeah.
people. Now people are in the chat who are saying hey to you. People are coming through and asking different questions about organic amendments. I've got a question here from James, one of my awesome sponsors. Shouts out to Growers Only Underground Genetics. He says, how many years has have you been using organic amendments, and how many years growing cannabis? That's a good question. I was actually going to ask you. I didn't mean for
Yeah.
this to be an interview, but one of my questions will
Oh,
overlap with this.
yeah.
Is that you do grow cannabis, right? Because I don't want to assume. I just know you smoke it, and you have a soil business. Do you
Yeah.
grow the cannabis?
I was arrested for the first time in my life for growing cannabis at the age of 11, for
Hmm.
growing weed in a pine tree. The second arrest was at the age of
Oh
12
wow.
in the same pine tree, doing the same mistake, and the same snitch, which was my neighbor.
Same tree.
And that's where I started learning, this outlaw shit. Well, don't, shit in your own yard twice, all this stuff. When I was a child, so I went through, my entire younger years was cultivating everything. My entire life is cultivating everything. I'm infatuated with, sunflowers and
All of it.
just
Good. Good.
just companion planting, and just it's not just cannabis. The important part of the cannabis side is for me is cannabis is one of the smallest parts in entire agriculture, but is the most powerful in agriculture. And because cannabis raised the bar of testing and limits and health and wellness to a level that agriculture can never rise up to. And now we're seeing it from many, many years ago when agriculture and the limits of testing for heavy metals, part was 0.2 parts, things like lead, mercury compared to agriculture. These guys are 40 parts per million is acceptable in agriculture, but zero point 0.2 parts is acceptable in cannabis. And for guys like me back when this testing was coming, we were already testing. So it wasn't no thing to change. Big Roots didn't have to change. All my competitors had to change their mix designs in order to keep their certifications. They just couldn't do it, But we were testing before that because it was the right thing to do, not
Hmm.
because we were mandated to do it by a fucking government entity, right? And so, yeah, so to answer the question, and I went through my entire life cultivating everything. The only time I didn't really participate in cannabis. I still grew it, but I was, as you guys all know, I'm green and sober, right? So I'm an addict. And, when I came out of prison, I was taught that
Hmm.
cannabis was a gateway drug, and in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, as everybody's taking every pharmaceutical prescription they could get. But a guy like me that wanted to participate in cannabis would lose my clean time for my mental health. So I didn't participate for 10 years. And I had a miserable time. I was raising my kids. I loved my life at the time, but it was hard. And so that's about the only time in my life that I haven't cultivated cannabis. Um, or yeah, I've been growing cannabis until right now. I've been growing all over. The last couple of years, I consult and set up farms all across the country. I got New York, South Dakota, New Mexico, multiple farms all over California. So I do SOPs. I'm on the farms. I'm traveling. You know, yeah. So I do. I'm still in the farm, but for the last couple of years, I haven't had my own farm in the last couple of years. But my life has been. It's hard to do everything else I do and have my own farm. Of course, my
Right.
bucket list in the next few years next year is back to I need a farm, so I need to do that, but not a farm like just cannabis farm. I'm
Right.
talking like shops and house with corrals and animals and
Oh
regenerative
yeah. All of it.
food, and then bringing back up all my seeding and breeding projects that I used to do, and just
Mm.
do have fun with it. The corporate cannabis side, I'm invested. We just purchased 40,000 pounds of sun-grown fresh frozen for Rosentech. That's what we've been procuring for this year for our extracts. And
Nice.
so, yeah, cannabis is my life, but actually it isn't agriculture, and there's no segregation in agriculture. I refuse to be segregated as cannabis as agriculture. It is agriculture. It's not separate. Any botanical is
Right.
a health and wellness byproduct,
We
and
can learn from
so
all of it. I mean, even the poisonous
totally.
plants, all of it, right? So,
Yeah.
real quick, guys, if somebody could say in the chat, we got 17 now in the house. Let me know if you can hear us both well. I can try to adjust whatever I have to. Just because you're not in the studio, I might be echoing myself actually. Anyway, yeah, that's a great point because we all have to eat. And I talked to this one cannabis grower that was like, nah. I said, do you grow any vegetables? He's like, nah, there's no money in that. I was like, what do you mean? Don't you spend money on that? Don't you go to the store?
Oh man,
Uh,
oh man. A farmer farms. I'm just going to put it out there. A farmer farms.
Yeah.
You know, it's the passion of farming. It's just there's so many yellow brick roads to that pathway. It's just you. It's about if you love what you do, you get serenity by your bare feet being in the soil and your hands in the soil. Right? It don't matter what you're growing. For me, I grow soil and I produce plants. I don't grow plants. I grow soil.
Well, I tie it to self sustainability, which is such a uh
Yeah.
like cardboard term now, but there's really no other really way to say it that yes, the food is basically the cornerstone of surviving. So you that's why I'm learning how to grow my own food. It's not because I just love plants. And it's not be and for cannabis people that try to learn how to grow it, it's not because they just love the plant. It's because they want what the plant can offer them. And so and that's survival or that's
Right.
medicine, right? And so it's just people don't understand. Like I'm not preaching. Hey guys, let's all have a garden. It's hey, think about your security and your own well being in a little bit more long term way. And taking for cannabis specifically, people can take it into their own hands, their own medicine, and it tastes so much better when you grew it yourself, and you feel like it's oh man, this is good, even though it's it might be crap, and you're just like oh this is so good, and it tricks you a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's I think you feel that
It only
triumph.
matters if you like it.
Hmm.
It really does. And if you're growing in a 4x4 tent, in a tent and 4x4 bed, or pots, companion plant. You can companion plant with all kinds of cool stuff, and it's like it's so awesome. It really is. I on my huge outdoor beds, which are still there and being grown, but I'm not. But they're 13 years old. And in my when I do beds outside, I grow mammoth sunflowers, and I start them
Uh,
early, and then I top the sunflower off it, and I leave it as a stake, and I plant my cannabis plant right next to it. And as those roots decay, they're immediately
hmm.
giving the value of, systemically 100% of what is breakdown into the new roots of the cannabis growing next to it, and then I got a stake attached to it.
What'd you call them? Giant? What?
They're mammoth,
Mammoth?
mammoth sunflowers.
Is that the biggest variety? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of
Yeah.
different varieties.
Yeah, and there's other ones too that aren't as big. I mean, I'm growing, in my outdoor. I mean, you can grow smaller ones indoor. You can do the same thing with that. And just imagine a cannabis plant that's in veg with with a big flower over the top of it. How beautiful that is, whether it's in your tent or wherever it's at, or
Sure.
marigold as a to unattract bugs, right? Like there's so many companion plants the plant. There's a lot of different flowers. If you're outdoors, pollinators are super sexy. Bring them bees in.
So I got some kind of mundane questions. Like, what's your favorite way to use cannabis?
Well, right now, it's, I'm an owner of Rosin Tech. I have been for many years. We started that, and Seed to Soul's the first license ever given, micro license in the state of California to me. I still own that. And
So it's
so I'm that with
rosin, right?
Rosin Tech.
So
Yeah, so
rosin
we
tech is
do.
about rosin, right? Go ahead.
So I do flower and rosin. So what I do
I
is
see.
I hit a rosin vape pen. Has been my go-to now. That's my go-to.
A
I
vape pen.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just love it because in the morning I don't really smoke during the day. I smoke in the morning when I go to the gym and I go to boxing. I love boxing, and when I go to the gym, I smoke before then, and then throughout my day I'll work, and then in the evening at the end of the day about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I usually like to smoke a joint, but I haven't been doing that so much. I've been doing some hash infused dog walkers, but I haven't been doing it as much lately as I normally do it,
Well, speaking
which
of
is kind of
hash
good. But
infused,
yeah, and then I always smoke right before I go to sleep.
I just wanted to show you this is just a little bit of hash, which you can't really see that much. Just the hash that I'm getting out of this machine over here with the bubble hash. I never had to
Yeah,
do it the old-fashioned way. I got this machine right away, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
we're washing it. So I have a bunch of stuff that I grew outdoor that was just kind of it was just volunteers. It was literally, I didn't even give it any nutrients or anything, man. It was just kind of the redheaded stepchild, and it actually grew to be very tall, and I got quite a lot of bud in the freezer, just frozen, sitting there waiting. I did a little bud wash. Do you ever do a bud wash? What do you use for that?
We got commercial equipment. I don't
Hmm.
have it, not at home, but at my facility, I've produced the most hash, most ice water hash and rosin in the California market in Torrance, California, in our lab, in Rosin Tech Labs.
What would you use?
So
Like
we
some
have
kind of
huge walk-in freezers, and
okay,
we have, it's beautiful.
like a big
Yeah, but I
industrial
really, the
washer
one
or
that
what?
really physically do it.
Right, right.
We have four wash machines, stainless steel wash machines, and then we have, and then we have a bunch of
Wow.
ovens and a bunch of presses. We're running all the time, and I don't actually do it, but the staff
Sure,
does it
sure.
now. So,
Yeah, but you
and
can
then
go there and be like,
I have fun going there,
let me
man.
have a, let me get a cup of, just want like a little tester cup of rosin. It's like 8 grams in this little cup.
What's fun is the fun part is, and our employees love it too, and it's a big family. So upstairs we have a whole living room, pool tables, and everything set up, and the team goes up there and we'll do like hash infused joints, but we use different types of hash. So we do all these blends, and we'll do rosin blends, and then we do a voting thing that's sitting around the couch, and everybody votes on which ones we like. What flavors do we like with blends, or well, we always get overpowering stuff, and so
Hmm.
it's like, and then we go, okay, well that's a hit. Let's throw that in. Well, we'll do a blend on that, and then we'll run it down the entire line. From now we have, from our infused joints to our edibles to our rosin and to our vape pens. We got a whole line of that blend, and that'll be the next batch launch. And then we've got multiple batch launches going out all the
That's
time. But
smart.
I'm only down there once a month now, I would say, maybe every 45 days, but I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
But it's
So,
sure is fun. It's sure is fun to walk in there, and we started where we started. You imagine where we all started from. It was
mhm.
we were pressing flour with dab rigs and scraping raw flour. That was great back
Oh
then when
yeah.
it started. It was fun. But to see it evolve and be part of that pioneering and forefront, um, it feels really good.
Oh yeah, I thought I was just the shit when I was getting good with making this like butane, rosin, or not rosin, but just like dabs or
Yeah,
whatever you call it with the
hash
butane,
oil.
and I'm getting good with the whole process, and I'm winterizing it, and that's just, yeah, that's a lot of work, and now I'm gonna take all the bubble hash, and I'm going to try to get it turned into FICO. I found that FICO actually really kind of does the trick for me, so I can take a break from the inhalation because my lungs are not,
Yeah.
what they used to be. But I've been going to the gym too. So, what's your
Oh,
what's
awesome.
your gym routine? Do you do like leg day, arm day, kind of thing like that, or do you?
No, I do. I'm pretty hard on my core, and I love hitting the bag. And it depends. Like I have a trainer, so I'll go do
Nice.
footwork and different stuff on the back on boxing, that is, right.
Hmm.
And then on the gym, like today I did dips, pull ups. Um, I did core, and then I did biceps and triceps today, but my goal is to hit a minimum of 3 times in the gym, and then my max is 5. And so if I hit 3, I'm happy with myself. At 4, I'm complete. If I hit 5, I feel like I've really done some shit for the week,
Days per week.
And
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
days in the gym. But I always put in calisthenics. I'm a big calisthenic person. I love push-ups, dips, just back arm dips, pull-ups, all the different
Hmm.
styles of pull-ups, and running through those routine, and then core with doing everything. I do core exercise. No matter if I'm doing dips, I'm working my core. I'm pulling my core tight and pulling my knees up, back and forth. So I do a lot of that. I do a lot of stretching. I'm doing 10 minutes of yoga before I go to bed every night now. I'm trying to keep loose now that I'm going to be 57 in a few months. So, and yeah,
Damn, you're going above and beyond. I know. another guy that is an influencer from that. And I don't know, do you? I think I saw some posts from you showing yourself in the gym and stuff. That's the calisthenics for sure. As your joints, your wrists and joints, especially the hanging from the pull ups. That's really good too, man. Just like the our joints, we don't think about. We think about, oh, am I getting fat or am I getting skinny? Like, and then
Yeah.
we don't think about the rest, right?
And
Uh,
the most important thing to do is stretching. Like I use bands and I stretch out, stretch my shoulders, and I raw dog the bags when I hit the heavy bags and stuff. I don't use wraps or anything. I feel like I feel like my wrists and my knuckles and everything is just so much stronger not wrapping up. Of course, if I was gonna pop in the ring and just do a little bit with somebody else, just playing around, which we do, is I'm geared up fully. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I don't want to be hurt, at the same
right.
time. So, but I feel like my son PJ, 6'7", he wrestled in high school and he got into boxing. He doesn't do it as much anymore, but he will again. But he said, "Dad, take the knee brace off because I need knee surgery really bad. I've had injuries." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And he goes, "Well, if you're on your toes and you're bouncing around that bag, you're never going to build those knee muscles back up. You're gonna because you have a wrap on it." He goes, "It'll always be that way because now you're hindering it and not putting weight on it, doing that. Take that fucking thing off." So I did, and man, my knee strength came back. My knee's better than it's been in the last 15 years. So it's kind of the same things with my wrist. And that's why I really smoke rosin for me before the gym. It's super important because
Mm,
in my fucked up head, and probably a lot of you can relate with this, is I'm at the gym and I'm thinking my to-do list to the day. I'm not focusing on my rhythm. I'm not focusing on control. I'm not focusing on not being hurt. So when I smoke out and I'm really swinging and swinging hard on a bag, especially without wraps or anything, you one faulty hit with a bag, you're twisting your wrist, you're hurting your elbow. Over swinging with a hook, right, or an uppercut will fucking fuck your shoulder up
mhm.
bad. And that happens. So when I smoke out, I stay totally focused on technique, right? And rhythm and timing. And nothing else messes with me. That's the beautiful part of medicinal cannabis. It's the most beautiful thing. And
Right.
that's why at the end of the day I smoke because it shuts off my entrepreneur brain, makes me put my cell phone down. I can turn around and whoever's around me, I can have a real conversation and pay attention to them. Otherwise I'm thinking, well, what I got to do tomorrow, or I didn't finish this today, or what's this motherfucker hater on Instagram, or whatever's going on. That shit is just rolling in your head and fucking with you all day long. And
Mhm.
cannabis takes that away from me. And that's why I love it.
That's so true. I think I've always said, I don't know, since uh, I started relying on it medically, because I did try it a couple times before I went overseas, but then when I got home, like, it became more of a medical tool. And I always just said, like, it helps to quiet some of my extra, thought processes going on. I got 12 trains running. They're all trying to run on 3 tracks. I need to
Exactly.
slow down the tracks.
Exactly.
And yeah, but it is true though that you go to the gym and not only cannabis, but then I actually wear these same headphones. They go Bluetooth to my
Yeah.
phone. Anyway, it's kind of weird wearing
Yeah.
old school headphones instead of having something jammed in my ears, but I have a problem in my ear. Oh, back to the gym thing, and someone said I thought we were going to talk about growing and stuff. Guys, I don't have any sort of main things, but we are talking health here, and I tell you what, I'm getting into the gym and it's a thing on my mind with a lot of the stuff I've been doing, whether I want to push it harder or whether I want to get a routine yet or just kind of keep easing myself in, all these things, because I got this kind of shoulder issue that I've been talking about for a while. It's been going on for a couple of years, but it has been finally getting better. I went through occupational therapy and massage therapy and chiropractic and all this stuff, and finally it started getting better. So it's good, but I can't even do a pull up yet. I can barely do a couple of bench presses at like a lower weight, but then now I have
Yeah.
this like pull muscle.
My shoulder, they said I needed shoulder. I have metal in my back, titanium discs.
Oh,
S1 through L5 or L3 is fused. And then they wanted to do it on my knee, and they wanted my shoulder needed. I couldn't. My shoulder was done, and I went to my trainer. I went to PT. I went to the doctors and all this. Well, you need a surgery. We got to
Mm.
rebuild it. But I went to this trainer, and he had me in the gym with 2 pound weights. I felt like the biggest pussy in the gym, right? And I'm like, hey, rebuilding with 2 pound weights and stretching. So stretching with bands over my head, back and forth, where I didn't used to be able to raise my shoulder, and I completely rebuilt it. That's why it's so important for me to have a full stretch, do full stretchings of all my joints before I spend, at least 15 minutes, sometimes 20, and just stretching when I get to the gym. And to go back to whoever was in the comments asking, I thought this was cannabis. This is cannabis. 20% of our life is cannabis, but everything on the health and wellness side equals the rest of the 80% of cannabis. And this is exactly what it is. We're in health and wellness. Cannabis is not segregated. Like, we got to quit segregating cannabis as its own thing. So if you have questions out there, I'm totally open to answering
Sure.
those. And
Yeah.
for sure. But my
Let us
life
know.
is not cannabis. My life is everything. And cannabis just happens to be the part that, releases me into greatness.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know. I'm seeing a lot of cheers and hashtag WTIF. Thank you guys. Uh, uh, this and that. That's awesome. Yeah, no questions yet, but James, let us know, man. You know what I think would be cool though is uh, microscopic look at soil being posted. I don't know, you might have done that already, but you know
Yeah.
how people do that with the trichomes? Do
Yeah.
that with the soil and maybe with like, and then you could label it like this is some shitty soil that my friend had on a farm or something, or this is like our top, top of the line, Soil King, variety, whatever. Although I'm using big roots over here myself, I just transplanted a lemon
Good.
tree with some big roots. I named her
I thought
Lemon.
you transplanted a palm tree.
Plum, yeah.
Pretty good,
She's
man.
in house right here. She's in the.
That's awesome.
She's behind me. What's up? Oh, nah,
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, and I do that. And I consult all over, and I take soil samples from farms all over the country, and I put them under my scope. And actually, we used to do it. I used to do it more, but it's super important. And the bacteria, right, and microbes,
mm,
and everything that you see in a microscope, we don't even have a percentage. We are such a small percentage of knowing or identifying or even having names or patents on what species of bacteria is out
right.
there. It's so fascinating, the stuff that we learn, and some of them are super intelligent microorganisms, and probiotics are one that's just unreal. It's crazy. So yeah, that's a really good suggestion. And also is I thought about that. We did, the King Kashi compost was the best thing I've ever created, and I sell it. It's expensive. It's aged 5 years right now, but
Mm,
I have Michael Savage from up north. He's one of the most well-known biological assessment persons working on it with me. He worked with me for 5 years on the King Kashi compost project, and we identified and took data for 3 years, and it came up things like registered no E. coli, 0 parts, 0 E. coli was in it. Heavy metals, no heavy metal, all this stuff, and it's all because of what. So let's just talk about E. coli for one. E. coli is in soils, compost. It's everywhere across agriculture. There's accepted tolerances of E. coli everywhere, and I've never seen a compost that didn't register some levels of E. coli, and so it's acceptable. But when I added, probiotic bacteria and really started working the King Kashi compost, it went down from a 7 part, which they call it something else with E. coli and spore count,
sure.
but it went down from 7 down to 0.00, which I've never seen on a compost in my life,
Mm,
right? And that's why you'll see me sometimes with King Kashi compost. I eat it. I feed my microbiome because it's super balanced fungal to bacterial
You
ratios. And
sick son of a bitch.
it is, man. But no, if you think about it, with a real healthy living soil, it's the exact same biological and fungal concept as your
Right.
microbiome in your gut. So
Mm.
if, it's that's what you want in it, So when you're feeding that, you want to get balanced. You really want to get balanced with that for the health side of it. So when you talk about taking probiotics for your gut, and everybody wants, and these probiotics you're getting from the
Mm.
pharmacy, CVS, these are all gone through solvent manufacturing facilities. There's
Right.
unknown buffers that are in it. It's processed. It's not FDA or organic process whatsoever. So they take a real known biologic and they convert it into a synthetic, and then you eat it in a pill form. With things like bokashi, right? Bokashis and things like that. Those are a true form of biologics, and there's soil probiotics, and there's soil probiotics and different stuff. So when we create like a king kashi or king kashi compost, when I get it to that, or a bokashi,
Mm.
last night I ate my king kashi, which is a fermented wheat bokashi. So I eat that, I give it to my dog, and my dog shits, and a mycelium mat comes around, and his shit doesn't smell, and now it turns his poop into a compost, right? Because
Mm.
now all that intelligent, super smart, intelligent microorganism is out competing the bad pathogen, and the bad pathogen is giving off that foul scent off the shit, right? So it's
Right.
converting and eating it, and it's a battle in there. It's so super powerful biology, right? And it just out competes, and now that's what it does. It degrades and eats and decomposes the poop, and it makes it organic matter.
Yeah, I started
Crazy.
learning about worms and how if your worm bin, if you have it inside, and if it stinks, it's because of the food you're feeding the worms. It could be something just, synthetics and some, not, a bunch of bad food or whatever. But if you're feeding it good stuff, good ingredients, then I guess there's no smell. Like there's something to do with that chain.
But oxygen is super important,
Hmm.
especially with worm farms. You have to have holes and oxygen in the bottom of it because the moisture leaks to the bottom of the trays, and that water in there, again, will start turning bad, like a bad pathogen. But if you add some bokashi to that worm, now you're making it, throw it in there. Not only will the worms eat it and shit out probiotics, but that hits the moisture in the water will drop in that bottom tray, and it'll eat all the bad pathogens that's making it smell in the bottom of the tray of moisture. So all my worm farms, that I add probiotics to. I
Nice.
added to everything.
Is
Yeah,
there a such thing as a prebiotic for soil? Because now we're talking prebiotics for people now too. Like
yeah.
I heard
Prebiotic is
mushrooms.
more of a probiotic. The soil probiotic is a prebiotic. How do you go in and really explain the details on
Yeah,
that?
that's the hard one.
That would be a question I can come back to you
Yeah,
with. But yeah, prebiotic is is an accelerant for a postbiotic probiotic.
right.
They all work unison together, and some prebiotics and with you know with biology as well. You have what is it? You have I can't think of the word. You have the P. It goes with this. Yeah, I just have to think on it. I'm sure it'll come up in a minute.
It's okay.
It's where there's no oxygen in the bacteria, and then it converts to oxygen. There's a word for that. Someone in the comments probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. Uh, yeah,
I definitely do
I'll think of
not.
it.
It's okay.
Antibiotic or antibiotic, robot,
Anaerobic,
probiotic,
anaerobic, or
anaerobic. Yeah, anaerobic bacteria is it converts to aerobic bacteria, which is another word for that
oh,
too.
okay,
So
okay.
it converts to from living without oxygen to oxygen. And there's a point in the conversion which is really neat too, because the intelligent microorganisms are super powerful at that point.
Hmm. So that's like maybe a sought after moment for somebody who's trying
Aerobic
to
and
find.
anaerobic, that's it. Aerobic and anaerobic.
Got it.
So with oxygen and without oxygen. And bad bacteria is anaerobic, so it doesn't have the oxygen, and that's what converts it to smell. But probiotics and prebiotics can be anaerobic and not turn to bad pathogens, but they can actually outcompete in that zone of anaerobic and then convert to aerobic.
Hmm.
Shit's insane. We don't even know much on it, but it's like, you know, yeah, I can go deep on some of this. And I love educating too, man. I love this is why I love dialogue, because there's so many people in our industry that study all this and they educate me as well too. And these oh shit moments are like, holy crap. Yeah.
How often do you get in a argument where you're in gridlock with somebody on? No, no, no. It's more
I used to
important.
do that. I used to do that a lot, but now I've realized that you know, people could have a point that I just passed up. You know, the things I used to do with organics in the past, I would never do today, that I would preach and test, and I was hard on it, you know, I would never do it today. And like even today, I'm changing from organic to more of a synganic, not for me, but I'm accepting of that. And I understand synthetic and the model, and I understand moving from synthetic to synganics.
Hmm.
And, you know, if you can just add biologics, mycorrhizal, azospirillum, you know, there's things like that that you can add to your synthetic cultivation, you can get better terpenes that last longer and really take the word cardboard terp, you can do synganics and kind of you can remove that. You know, you're getting better flavonoids and everything else, just adding, you know, biologics to it. So I quit hammering everybody in their cultivation style. And for the first 20 years of this, I felt like nobody believed in the organic movement and the process. So I really had to
Mm.
fight for it. But now we're all in a discovery phase, and now that the organic side is so big, you know, we're all trying to figure this out together. You know, if we can just make it better, and if you're growing something and you're happy with it, hats off to you, man. You don't need to change it. You know, if you want to change it, there's options to change it too. You know, we don't have to hate on one another, but we can learn from one another.
Or you can do a little bit of both. I mean, I've seen
Mhm.
people, but with what you were just saying, one question came to mind. Like, would that method of using a little bit of organic within your synthetic grow, would that be a assumption of just everything dying off? The difference between a say an organic grow in general, where you're trying to perpetuate that growth of bacteria or whatever it is that you're looking at, versus adding it to synthetic, you're going to basically assume it's going to help you for a set amount of time, and then more or less assume that there's a die off period, or maybe like a, is that what was that what I'm gathering from that? Is that what I'm?
Well, in biology, there always is a quick die-off period.
Mm-hmm.
In fungal, there is, but not as extreme. But in biology, you know, microbes don't last; they just produce more. So they keep producing it to invade their environment, colonize their environment. But I think with the synthetic side, the hard part is synthetics salts, you know, and you know, let's just be real. It's a byproduct of the petroleum industry. That's what synthetic cultivation and nitrates are. It is. So and it's like salt on a slug to the majority of microbes. Kills them, right? So
Right.
with biologics and biology, so there is stronger and more diverse biology that can withstand some of it, but it's like you know, feeding biology into synthetic is kind of feeding you McDonald's every day, right?
Right.
Kind of gets you sick and you're not there, but you're still part of it. Now, when you add mycorrhizal and things like that to it, or if you add like azospirillum bacterias, you know, they'll go in there and they still are, you know, because they still got to fight the machine of synthetic, but they're still dormant, they're still alive. And but they're a nitrogen fixing bacteria that will grab some of the salts and grab some of the products or the medium, and it'll eat it and make it available nitrogen. And then you have mycorrhizal in there, and it just seems like with that extra kick of biologics in a synthetic cultivation, we're finding a little bit better yields, but definitely better terpenes and better flavonoids and flavors and things like that. We're seeing that results, and so I'm in all these big corporate cannabis things farms out in California right now, and I'm adding all these biological products to these huge, Athena driven, massive, buildings, and we're seeing better quality just because of that. We're adding things, kelp, humic acid, mycorrhizal, azospirillum, things like that to their already synthetic system, because it all goes in the same reservoir as well too. It can mix right
Right.
in it. So it works, and we're seeing better results. And that's what we call synganics
Hmm.
or synbio. You'll hear those two terms, right? That's synthetic and biologics, or synthetic and organics combined. And I used to be really hard against it, but there's security, and you have investors, and they're barely getting by in legal cannabis, which is hard, and you're barely getting by making any money. To change out an entire system is, hundreds of thousands of dollars, complete organics,
Sure.
and we're just trying to get it. So, and most people you hire as farm managers or facility managers, they have no idea about organics on a big scale, because there's not a lot of people that have done the massive scale on indoor organics and things like that yet. There's it's being done, and data's been proven, but it's hard to do it. No Till Kings is doing a great job, but they're only as big as their facility is. I'm talking some of these facilities are, man, these guys got they got, their buildings are like 3 levels of plants going up. It's crazy, on top of each other. It's just insane,
I've
so
I've
that's a
thought of
lot.
that. I've envisioned that, but that for that to be considered regenerative agriculture is a long way off. I thought, I mean, because obviously I'm an indoor farmer, I have all these plans and ideas on how to grow things indoors, at least as a large supplementary vision or even more. But that's a conversation for another day, I guess. But I had another question in there somewhere, but that's okay. I lost it.
Well, I can just go on what you just said a little bit.
Yeah.
And so my philosophy used to be, organics and living soil indoor didn't really make a lot of sense till I started consulting and working it. And just alone in an indoor rooms, living soil, when it's really balanced, the CO2 amounts that come out of there. We're eliminating CO2 in rooms. There's just so much stuff. And so I am a huge supporter of, I would call it regenerative in a way, regenerative indoor cultivation, right? And just reusing, and yeah, so really good, super organic indoor facilities. They used to be hard on that, and greenhouses and outdoors were my thing, and outdoor for sure was number one. But there's just different levels. Not everybody if you're, this, wherever you're living in the world, you can't be growing. You do it the best you possibly can. And let me tell you, if you're growing food and cannabis and health and wellness and botanical products indoor with living soil and getting it right, man, you're producing medicine. You are producing medicine. So how can anybody take that away?
Right, and every step is a lesson. Whether or not I grew a
Yeah,
tiny, oh look, I finally got a tiny tomato, and that's the only thing I got out of it, or you grew a cannabis and you got maybe an ounce of bud out of that one plant. Well, that's a start. That's a start.
yeah,
You got to start somewhere. And every failure is a lesson. And I know that's all cliche, but people a lot of times one of the biggest things people say is, oh, I just would it would just die. But if I grew a plant, it would just die because I can't grow anything. Every time I tried growing something, it died on me and or whatever, this and that. I'm like, well, try growing something else. Try grow something
yeah,
different. Like
yeah.
house plants, I cannot keep a house plant alive for the life of me. Right now, I have
All
one.
about that.
I have one right now, but okay. And when I say that, I've only had one that died, but that's only I'm one for one. I've got to see what happens here. But well, yeah, back to the question of E. coli and stuff, because obviously uh, a lot of fertilizer has some kind of poop in it, some kind of
Yeah.
feces. Well, what about fish fertilizer? Water from my aquarium. That's what I use for most things. That still has a E. coli. I wonder. I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's any
I
different.
mean, it just depends on how healthy, I mean, yeah, it definitely does. Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. You got a war of anaerobic to aerobic bacteria going on in your fish tank constantly.
mm.
Same kind of setup.
I didn't think about that.
But
I've
that
been
doesn't mean that E. coli is going to transfer up into your plant either. Remember that.
right.
Now, if you're spraying, the fish water as a foliar on your buds, yeah, I would say you're probably smoking some shit, right?
I haven't been doing that, but I mean, when I climb in there every morning to say hi to the fish, is that gonna hurt me? I'm kidding. Just when I get down in
It
there,
all depends on if you got to eat King Kashi compost, right? So your healthy microbiome, right? I tell
rub
you
it
right now, I
on.
could drink your fish water and it wouldn't phase me at all because it would hit the intelligent microorganism in my gut and it would outcompete and kill it. That war would be had on a positive level for me.
I saw this like story of an old man. I think it was 80s or 90s that never gets sick and this and that. I can't remember the details. A couple years ago, and he was showing the reporter what he does, and he gets down. He's a farmer, and he said every day, he gets down uh, on his knees to the trough where the cows drink out of, and he takes it. He bends down and takes a drink out of the same trough as the cows, and it's shocking to a lot of people, but there's a whole lot of stuff going on in there. That kind of trough.
Enzymes and everything. Their saliva is full of
Yeah,
enzymes. There's a
yeah.
lot of, yeah, man. There's
Can't
all, yeah.
imagine
That would be
battle.
cool to put under the scope. But yeah, I
Right.
understand that.
That water, yes. That's a good idea. Maybe do that before you, or then interview him again. Um, but yeah. So, uh, what's going on? Like, what's next for you? Anything? I mean, we've been on for a little while. I don't want to let me know how you're doing on time, but
Yeah, I
what's
know what time it is. I just got to make sure I got my next meeting. We'll talk about that. Is A&E's contacted me again too. I don't know for anybody that know, I've worked with A&E and the producers of show Hoarders and First 48 are friends of mine, and we did a bunch of work and content all over the world, from USVI to Northern California, all Oklahoma, different places, on a show called the Soil King Farm Rescue. But because it was cannabis, every year it got kicked back. But I own all that content. I bought it. I paid $135,000 for owner rights to the content, what made me a executive producer of the show. So I have rights, and I didn't want anybody to own me or be able to make me look,
right?
portray something different. So I bought into that, and that was my contract. And they had me. They had a first right of refusal for me to be able to do anything with it, or me to sell myself to another show for 5 years. And I signed that. That was bad, but that's over with now. So they have come back to me now, and I have a meeting in just a few minutes at 1:00. So help me keep the time on that if you can. And that is we're doing another whole regenerative food show. So we're sitting down today, first meeting with the producers and a director to go over designing the next content of the next show. And that's what I do. I did dispensary. I designed shows called dispensary, like was that bar rescue, dispensary rescue.
Right.
We did that. We never
Nice.
released that. I wrote a bunch of different concepts of stuff, but the one we're going today is really in soil health and regenerative agriculture, and flying around and probably changing farms from synthetic to organic on food for big ag, as well as we'll type into everything else I'm doing, in and out of cannabis. But there's no segregation in agriculture again, so it's not cannabis focused, and that's what got me last time. It was super cannabis focused. Well, not really, yeah. But so this time we're in the perfect age right now. Everything that my entire life I've ever done is lined up for this moment of agriculture, where the Make America Healthy movement going on. There's really a lot going on. I have some of my partners in the game, with Pat Militech. If he's UFC 5-time heavyweight champion. He's the godfather of UFC. He's my partner. I'm on a podcast right now, honey. And I have a bunch of big influencers like that. I have another UFC champion out of Guam, and so we're all into the health side of this. Pat Militech and I is working on a product that we've they've discovered really, which is crazy, and it came from the military back in the 60s and 70s, where they were trying to eliminate the big bombs. All the metals and all the PFA chemicals is really what it comes down to. And
Mhm.
so, if you know anything about that, our entire world of agriculture is riddled with this PFA chemicals, and it's called the government has claimed it as a chemical you will never be able to get rid of. And so we've created
Forever
bacteria that
chemical.
will
Yeah.
forever chemical, yeah, forever chemical. But we've got bacterias and extremophiles and all this different stuff that has actually been eating heavy metals and pesticides. And now with the PFAs, we've taken it from super toxic soil in 60 days to non-detect. So that'll all be part of the show, because now we can apply this feasibly, right? And it's easy, it's cheap. It's $400 of this will take care of an acre for $400. So it's very, very affordable to the farmer, and it'll
Wow.
clean up the PFA chemicals. And so there is a remediation and a recycle process that's coming across the world. And we found the solution. So there's a lot of cool shit we're going to talk about, I'm sure, in the concept of writing this new show.
That's
It'll be
awesome.
a Yeah, it'll be a few months of really writing it, and then we'll put it together. Then they take all that, and then they kind of write it out, present it to me. And like we were talking at the beginning of the show, I'm not scripted. They know that. When we flew out last time, they had me a makeup artist, right? And they had a food person, right? I'm like, man, just leave them people at home. I don't even want to see them. Don't bring them near me. I'm
Yeah, but
ugly. I'm staying that way.
but bro, did you see this? Did you see this? Oh, you can't see it, can you? Because
I
we're looking at
can't.
my camera. So, did you see the thumbnail for today's show?
I haven't yet.
No. Oh man. Oh man. I wish I could somehow show it to you. I'm trying to think off the top of my head now. Uh, Maybe
Just send
if I
it to
share.
me, and then I'll post it.
I sent it to you. I texted it to you. Do you have a
Okay,
second device? Or no, I didn't
I
text
don't.
it to you. I sent it to you on Facebook Messenger. But you
That
look
would be on
like a
Messenger.
you look like a wise druid with these pointy ears and like this wooden crown with like spikes and stuff all over it. Yeah, I think it's worth a look when you get. That's the makeup
I'll check it
artist right
out.
there. The makeup artist needs to do that for you. Anyway, so they had to give you a makeup artist, but you're like no script. We're just gonna you probably make something like a little bit of an outline, don't you? Kind of like okay, in general, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I boilerplate stuff.
Sure, sure.
I just make lines of subjects I'm talking about, the things that I want to hit, and we go over it in our production meetings, right? So yeah, we'll do stuff like that. But just, I've had it where they wrote me out script and want me to remember it and follow. And it's, you got somebody else trying to write your character in your soul. I'm like, I just ain't into that. Like, I'm so organic. Put a
Yeah,
camera in front of me, I come alive. It's the way it is.
that
It's
is
good to me.
weird. Yeah. Okay, this is when you say that you love this, and it's like, what? What? How would I? Why would I say that? I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
love that.
exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is weird about showbiz, but it's also the thing. Um, I've been in sales before, where your commission is like your paycheck, and you better make a sale, or otherwise your bills aren't paid. And it's cutthroat, and it's just like sharks in there, people lying. I literally was in sales at a automotive shop. So if I mean, no one's coming in there with having a good day, bro. Like very,
I
very
never
few
thought of it like
people,
that.
very few
I never
people are
thought of it
coming in
like
there. Like maybe you have the one old man that comes in and he's like, I want some Cooper tires. Like he might be cool with
that.
not worried about anything. But anyway, people come in there pissed, and they all assume you're lying to them. You're lying to me. You just want my money when you tell me I need this and this. And some people they'd be going, "Ma'am, you're gonna die today if you don't get this on your car in your car." I know a guy that would do some shit like that. Like, but my point by saying that is I've now realized that we are all in sales. Everyone watching everyone listening, everyone everywhere. Your job, if you go to your job and you're not selling yourself by promoting yourself in some way, by trying to, you might maybe don't need that promotion, but maybe a raise, right? Looking for the raise, I'm sure. And
Totally.
people don't realize that, like, hey, you're in sales. Like, you're in sales. It's not maybe this what you're thinking of, commission pay or whatever, but have you ever been in like sales like that? Work at like Best Buy or anything? I don't know. Sales,
I
regular
mean,
old.
I'm always been in sales. I build stuff and manufacture stuff and I sell stuff. So my whole life has been sales. I was growing weed and selling doobies at the age of 10 and 11.
Yeah,
So
but was
everything
it
in my life.
weird when you first got your first like SKU and the website up there, and you have like uh, however many products on the, you know what I mean? Like that jump to that point when okay, you have all these rules and regulations behind that all of a sudden, and you have, okay, how many SKUs do we have, and how many, you have to prove that to the powers that be.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Especially with
intense.
organics and the certifications. It's so crazy,
And with
but
cannabis, it's huge. Yeah.
yeah, it's huge. But the certification programs for organic are all a bunch of fucking bullshit, money sucking.
Hmm.
I was late. CDFA, you got to have them. I like the philosophy behind it, and it's getting better. And there's other programs coming out, EcoCert, which is out of Spain, and they're higher than anyone. So my products are becoming EcoCert now, which is really cool. But like CDFA, I was last year, the year before, I owed them a $5,300 bill, and it was 120 days late. And I told them I can make payments, and they said, no, you got to pay the whole thing. I didn't have it, and I had till March 1st, I think was it last year to pay it. And they fucking gave me a $7,300 fine
Oof.
for not paying it was a $5,200 bill. And then next thing you know, they lien me. And and here's the thing is I'm still paying them, and I'm still registered as CDFA on all my products.
It
So
sounds
I
like
didn't lose my certification, and I'm still paying as I'm going on everything. But I missed an old bill, and I was trying to make a payment plan. They wouldn't let me do it, and they fucking fined me more than it was, and then they leaned me on that. It's like,
that.
so I mean, these certifications, fuck these government certifications. They're just, it's all money grab, and it's all shit. And I could take their certified products. For instance, CDFA is not really that great. Omri is nowhere near. Omri's shit. It's a pay to play.
Hmm.
And but CDFA for like food agriculture, they have a list of organic approved products you can use. Big Roots is on that list. My product's on that list. But if somebody has beyond, organic or really higher end organic products that sometimes takes 3 years plus to even get certified through them. But if you're not on their list of products and you're using something that might be even better, that they don't have on their list, they'll take you off the certification organic food, so you can't sell your food. So what they've done is they've taken brands that pay to play, manufacturers products like Big Roots, because I pay to play to get it, and they say you can only use these products because these guys are paying to play, right? And it really is hard on the farmer because most of the people that have corporate that have money in these certifications of manufactured products, they're charging a shit ton of money because they have these certifications on their products to pay for it. And farmers aren't making any money and they can't afford all this. So they're caught in a catch 22. And then and even to go farther, last year there was a friend of mine that has peppers. He's a certified organic farm. He has peppers. He had 11 varietals of peppers that were registered on it, and they came out and did a property and farm inspection, and they found 12 because he had one other pepper, still growing the same way and the same everything, and they fined the shit out of him and made him go through hell because he had one varietal of pepper that he didn't say he had.
Yeah.
And so they almost destroyed the farmer because of the fees, and they shut him down, and they had to put him through all this shit. So fuck these corporate certification companies. We have to have them, but that's why I have Soil King approved products, right? I've always done that where if I find a manufacturer of a product that's out there and I love it, and I do my own, I scrutinize all my own testing on everybody's stuff, including my own. I'm a sourcing guy. I do this. And so if I find it, I'll put it underneath mine because I believe in it. Fuck these certification programs.
I think that it's kind of, yeah, money grab is definitely part of it, but I think that is actually just a tool. The money grab is the tool to gatekeep, to be gatekeeping, you know, and they can, if they don't like whatever it is, like your local people that are writing the, or that are signing the what do you call it when you need a pass or something written
Permit?
to permit. Yeah, son of a, yeah. So like your permits for whatever it is, your grow or your buildings, you need like fencing, you need this or that. Um, and if they just don't like you, your politics or whatever it is, they can use those, all the red tape and all those uh, different regulations to bog you up and slow you down in court, slow you down this way and that way. And cannabis is one of those things, unfortunately, that's got the arrow pointed at it, you know, the eye of Sauron on it. Some people. But I'll give you another example, not cannabis related at all, but my insurance company, which is known as a insurance company for farmers, I went to it and wanted to get insurance for a microgreens business. And they had no freaking idea what that meant or was or how to do it. No one had ever come to them for that. And so they come up with this whole thing and they told me that I had one stipulation. I was not allowed to grow sprouts, like bean sprouts, you know, in the jar,
Yeah.
because of the salmonella, I guess, that were people, or E. coli,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was that was
Yeah.
happening. Remember, Jimmy John's had to stop selling it for a while,
Yeah.
or if they, or forever, I'm not sure, because of that. But yeah, they're like, okay, but as long as you don't grow those, everything else is cool. I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah, weird
Yeah, the
regulations.
microgreen guys have to go through a lot. I'd make some microgreen mixes for some big microgreen reasons.
You can do it with hemp. Hemp. Go ahead.
It's just tough. They have to go through all these, certificate. There's one microgreen in Texas that I work with, and they service all 5-star restaurants, 4 and 5-star restaurants, and it's so interesting because these guys with minerals, they've taught me so much inside their facilities. With minerals, they can change the flavors of how a pepper flavor or a spice is on your tongue, right? They can manipulate it. So they have these chefs come in and say, look, I need this flavor right here. We need to take this microgreen, but we need to add this. So it might be a radish or whatever it is. And we need to get it to this flavor for his cooking. So they will manipulate it with minerals in order
Hmm.
to get the flavors go in different directions or lasting longer, or it's insane. Like he'll say, okay, well this one you'll eat, and you'll eat it, and then he goes, now wait a minute, and then you'll feel it on the back of your tongue, and then you'll taste a whole nother taste.
Hmm.
All right, so it's really really
The
interesting.
aftertaste, yeah. There's some good
Right?
ones too. Does
Yeah.
she?
Go ahead. One second.
Go ahead.
There's a black SUV going back and forth in the backyard.
Okay.
I've seen it twice already this morning, and it just went back down that way. I don't know if it has anything to do with this house or what.
Okay, I'll go check it out. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We can, you can get going with, we got about a half hour left anyway. She just made me think of a question though. Does she get into growing at all? Does the wife get into the any of it?
She is now. We're doing raised beds in the backyard.
Nice.
It's a newer relationship. I'm not. Amy and I are no longer together. We split up a while ago.
Ah,
You guys remember Amy? Yeah.
I don't keep in a close enough track. I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I hope
I'm in
all is
love
well.
again with somebody else.
Hmm.
I'm building a whole new family out here, Southern
Nice.
Cal.
Nice. Is that on all the places you travel? Is that like you still like it there? It's where you're.
I've never been out in the back end of San Diego. It's in a town called Menifee, California right now. But I travel so much still. I have a house in Salinas, right in the middle of Salad Bowl of middle of California, where I work with, I'm collecting data on products on really high end organic, um, with soy aminos and algae products out of Spain, with Driscoll's and the biggest berry farmers and lettuce producers in the world out here. So I'm like in big ag doing these great trials, and we're changing them from synthetic over to this organic, and
So
we're figuring out we figured out the solution with an MPK that can apply just like you do in your big, 3,000 or 1,000 or 10,000 gallon water reservoirs. They're doing feeding with heavy nitrates. We've actually come to the part in the world right now in life that we have we have been able to suspend, sustainably, not sustainably, but soluble, down to nanotechnology, organic manufactured, so you can actually pour this stuff in just like you would an Athena or a salt or something in the same reservoir and use it just like it. And that's where this is big. There's a lot of big stuff coming out right now. Super big stuff. I'm working with John Anderson's the owner of Extreme Gardening. Extreme Gardening is just a really small umbrella company off the major company called RTI Ag. RTI, John owns that as well too, and it's the biggest biological company in the world. And it just to give you one thing, all these farmlands have their mycorrhizal on it, and it's just, you see extreme mycos. So in extreme mycos and mycorrhizal, if you've seen Extreme Gardening and their mycos, their parent company RTI produced 7 million pounds of mycorrhizal last year.
wow.
7 million pounds. And so pretty much anything, and I'm just going to say this without saying names, but any mycorrhizal out there now that you see in, big ag or at Home Depots or in your hydro stores and other packages, the name is white label now from RTI,
Hmm.
Extreme Gardening. And so they are the leader in biologics across the world right now. They actually, they sell into 38 countries right now, of biologics, humates, humic acids, azospirillum, different bacterias, things like that. So anyway, so with that, I've taken this product. I've been working with Tim McCormick since 2015, and we've just I just brokered a deal into RTI, which is the biggest distributor across the country right now. So there's a lot of these cool products you're going to see this by the end of this year, going out and into next year. You're going to see in cannabis, and just a quart of this liquid MPK liquids that we have, and calcium liquids, 1 quart will take care of an acre. It's
Is this
insane.
so? Does that mean it's going to come out like commercially first, as far as like sizes and
Well,
availability?
my job now is to grab agriculture products, because that product will get white labeled up into cannabis,
Hmm.
and then it's sold for such a high dollar. Me as a distributor and going in here, and I'm a distributor for the manufacturers on all this stuff coming
Right.
out, and actually I'm putting it all together. My job to all these big farms, and that's why I'm in the doors of all these farms in California and across the country starting, is that I figured out agriculture rates to bring the cogs and costs down to make it super competitive with any salt system whatsoever now in
Right.
big agriculture. And now going into cannabis, now we're saving money because I'm taking that same agriculture number, pennies on the dollar, and selling it into the big cannabis farms at that, instead of white labeling it and going into cannabis and all these higher dollars, because pretty much just about everything you see in cannabis is white labeled from an agricultural manufacturer into cannabis. You don't even know that, and I'm not going to say names, but I can walk through a garden center. I could probably walk through your closet right now with all your stuff and name products right now that I could tell you where the sourcing is, and that you're paying $10 for, a little bit of it, and I can get it for, 50 cents,
How dare
you
you? All I have is
know.
big roots. Just big roots.
Hmm.
I do have some cocoa core, I think, as well right now. I did get some. I have a sponsor, Soil Food, which work with worm castings and stuff like that. So I have a high
Good.
relationship with worms in
Yeah,
my bed. Go ahead.
super important.
Hmm.
So important.
And
If your
arthropods.
soil and your cultivation can't grow worms, when you put worms in there, you can't find them, then you're adding something that's killing them. That's your rule of thumb.
Hmm. Yeah, because
And
they're
if you're
gonna.
killing worms, you're killing biology, and you're not organic.
That's a good rule of thumb. Yeah. Well, if there's anything you want to promote, we can do that now.
I,
Get you
I
going.
would say maybe just I'm rescheduling. I'm redoing Big Roots this year. Trying to get the price point down even lower now. So I'm going to go. I have a commercial division. I'm trying to get this commercial stuff out. I make soil mediums and anything for. That's the other thing. Stizzy's out here in California and all these big brands that they use these different mediums to get started. I'm doing whatever design they want and making it for them. But with Big Roots, I decided I'm lowering down because we always have a manufacturer costs, distribution costs, wholesale costs, and commercial costs. I'm wiping the distribution costs out of there and lower, and then I always usually have sales in there as well too,
Mhm.
and it's commission. But I don't have any sales guys, and I'm having such a hard time on the wholesale, because price points up. I'm dropping numbers down, quite a bit this year for shops so they can, because it's hard out there. It's just so hard. So you should see my pricing instead of going up. You're going to see Bigger's pricing coming down significantly on big scale commercial like truckloads and totes and things
Right.
like that. I'm cutting about 40% of the cost out of it right
Wow.
now. So I'm working on big stuff instead of and my life is, I'm making money at other, directions as well too. And it's just like people are dying, so it's like what I could sell, I could sell one pallet to one shop, or a year, or maybe lower it and get it going and make it more affordable to the customer. And I'm selling 10 to that one. So it's just by volume, it'll be better,
Hmm.
but it's just easier on everybody else because we're all struggling. I don't care
Sure.
what part of this industry you are. If you're growing a plant, growing a tomato in your back room, you're growing cannabis in a tent in your garage, or you're growing, like lifted cannabis. I'm consulting with them and they're organic. They're 44 acres of cannabis outdoor right now. It's incredible out here.
44 acres of outdoor. Wow. Sounds like
Crazy.
something. Sounds like something that Cheech would have had to have a fake lake, over the top of it, and then pretend to be swimming on the ladder. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, so
Well.
that's just kind of it. Stay tuned for the A&E. It's not meeting with the producers of the show Hoarders. For A&E. So we don't know if we're gonna sell this one. I'm gonna own the rights where I can go out to all the networks once we put this thing together instead of being locked in with A&E. A&E fucked me over on that.
Hmm.
They definitely did. Put a lot of time and energy and money into something, and then they never took it to the last, on the last runway. But whatever.
I mean,
I
I feel
learned. I
like
learned.
I don't know. I don't know if this needs to be said, but I feel like you could kind of do a similar thing on your own without, just by just even with just a cell phone, going to these places and talking to people and having a friend or a few friends that you hire to carry some, hold the equipment and almost, just do it yourself. But that's just a
We did
thought.
that a lot. We've
Yeah.
done that before, but it's just not the same when you have professional
Yeah.
editors and
You're right.
professional mic men, and it is in the real production world where you see on TV. It's pretty serious. It's hard to mimic that level, and then you
Not
have the editor.
starting out. Hold on, we gotta hold. You can't start out that way, no. But I think within a short time, with your following, with the ideas that you have, I think it could fairly
Yeah,
quickly get to the point where you're hiring some of these, you know, dis disenfranchised producers that are leaving Hollywood or
I mean,
whatever.
I did all that. I did. If you look at my YouTube page and you go to Soil King: A Day in the Life, I got 3 seasons of production. I did. I have my Soil King production TV that you'll see. You see signs and everything. I have my own production
Hmm,
company. We did that from 2014 all the way up, and it was really professional. And I had yeah, it was really done professional. But I could. That
it's
would
too
be
much.
no, no, that was great. It was really great. It just cost a lot of money, and I never really sold the show, but I didn't really know
Ah,
how to do that back then, as
gotcha.
well. But I still have it. I mean, yeah, there's 3. The Mendo Dope. We got a bunch of great videos when they were younger, a whole series on them, and
I can
all
tell you
kinds
how
of
to
cool
sell
stuff.
it. You
Kevin
sell it.
Godry.
All these companies and people that you're making connections with, you have it supported by sponsoring the show through other companies that you know of already that are good companies, kind of like I do. Well, speaking of, we got some of the sponsors in the house. Mama
Well,
Rochi said hi. I think
thank you for the
she does.
sponsors, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
sponsoring him. It's
yeah.
so important. It's so, they always say it, man. I don't care if you're a small sponsor or you're a corporate sponsor. I don't care, man. That money is super important for a guy like you to be able to do what you're doing for guys like me. You're allowing me to storytell my life, and it's all because of the sponsors that are helping out. So thank you for any sponsors on this show. Man, I hats off to you. Appreciate you, and you are the most important part for sure.
Yeah. And like subscribers as well, a lot of subscribers in the house, and
Subscribers too.
all
Yeah.
those kind of things can help you nowadays to monetize without having to, I don't know, jump through the hoops of these, crazy sites and stuff. It's just insane all the stuff they want you to do. You can't just, when I started this, I thought I just can just do a podcast. Nope, you can't just do that anymore. You got to be making this and that, reels and
Yeah.
posts and comments and pictures.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, just it's nonstop. Anyway, I'll get you out of here, brother. I do
All right.
appreciate it again. Great conversation. If
Any
anybody had,
questions, hit me up at the Soil King on Instagram. Send me messages. He's
that's
got to
it.
put
Yeah.
the Soil King, or
Hmm.
or even you can find it on Facebook. Anything at the Soil King is
And
all
the
everywhere.
website is
YouTube and everything.
right, thesoilking.com.
TheSoilKing.com.
Cool.
Yeah,
Is that
great.
a place to be looking at? I mean, you got
Yeah, yeah.
soil there.
I think it's if you're buying big roots online right now, I think my Amazon store is probably the best place. More expensive, less expensive
Oh wow. Okay.
right now. Mm-hmm.
A lot of thank
Still
yous.
cost. I think it's guaranteed $67 to ship a bag anywhere. And that's with shipping. And so the bag, it's just the way it is. Shipping costs so much. So if you're far away and you're in New York, if you went on the soilking.com, you're going to pay more money. But you
Can't
should always check
imagine.
both of them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't imagine. I have a local grow shop that buys it by the pallet load or whatever, and I get it from them.
Mm.
So that's what's up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support, and thank you for them
Uh,
to having it. What's the grow shop?
grow up, grow up gardening,
Awesome. Yep,
and
exactly.
yeah, in Illinois. Yeah,
Hmm.
you've been over here too, and it's like I know you. Have you been? Did I ask you this already? Have you been to all 50 states?
No, I don't think I have. There's
Been to,
states I still haven't been to.
probably been to a lot
Not
more
full
than I
Illinois,
have.
that's for sure.
I've only been to a handful, so probably a lot more than me.
I travel all over, and I like to drive a lot too. So I'm driving through states and staying on people's couches. I mean, I'd rather stay on people's couches or hang out with people than sit in a hotel when I'm traveling. And so, airplane, if I could drive versus fly and go to a hotel, I'd rather do that. And
Hmm.
our culture is great. Our culture is amazing across the country. We have just a fucking great culture, man. Great people.
There's stuff that you'd miss if you didn't, and that's one reason I do. Yesterday on Tuesday, I do a show every Tuesday. It's a review show where basically it just gives me an opportunity or a reason to get my ass out of the house throughout the week, do something, find something, local business event, local whatever, so something I never knew was even right there next to me or whatever, and I go and find so many things in that local community that I would have never known about if I didn't start doing that. And it's blown my mind a few times. Like, what? I didn't know we had one of these around here. And it's funny. I hate to compliment Facebook for anything, man. But they have this whole section called events where you can go and check out different local events and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll get you out of here, man. So I could see that
Yeah, I
it's
better go
about that
check
time.
on the
Yeah,
car.
yeah. Hey, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon, and guys, go
Yeah,
check
thanks for
it out.
having me on.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Bye.
See you, brother.
All right. Yes, let's go check out the soilking.com. Gotta do a number spin real quick here soon. But yeah, that was my friend the Soil King. Very, very fun to talk to. I could pick his brain all day talking about the real intricacies of soil, and not just soil, but beyond, I should say. All right, where am I at here? Let's go to the soilking.com. There it is. Stop gambling with your grow. So he is big in using cannabis as recovery from, not only drugs, but obviously gambling. All kinds of good products here. Mr. B's Green Trees Boost Hybrid Fertilizer. Bud Finisher and Pest Control. Organic Finisher and Hardener. It just reminded me of like the Ninja Turtles movie where he says, "I can feel my shell tightening." Let's see, Porta Bucker. Might be reading that wrong. Oh, look at that. Look at that cool picture. Soil King 20 plus years building soils, consulting for farms, and helping growers hit record yields. I've been where you are, and I know exactly what it takes to get results you can see, smell, and taste. Boom. Okay. There's probably more within the website here, but very cool, very cool. I wholeheartedly appreciate our friend the Soil King for coming on the show today. Awesome. All right, if you guys haven't gotten a number yet, I don't know where you've been, but I'm going to check it out. I'm going to look. I'm going to check. Alice has number 18. Okay. Hit the refresh button one time. I better play us some tunes. All right, let's go. Go sign up at the indoorfarmer.locals.com and help support my vision, my end goal, my journey. But not only that, help support the entertainment that I'm providing. I mean, look, I'd like to go to events, and these events sometimes cost money to get in. Sometimes they'll let me in for the publicity. That's fun. But a lot of the bigger ones don't, and not yet anyway. And then I also just a lot of times have to buy something at these places. I don't always have to buy something, but sometimes I do. And it would be really nice if we had more people subscribe. I could start buying something from each event or each small store that I review or whatever have you, and use it as a giveaway each time. Stuff like that. All right, let's go number wheel time. Let's do it. Who's still in the house? I need a number. Debbie, this is for my subscribers, Debbie. If you haven't yet done so, Go over and sign up at theindoorfarmer.locals.com. We are going to do the door prize here soon, which you do not have to be subscribed for. You just have to be here for. So let me see it in the house. Let me see it in the chat. We've lost a little bit of momentum, a little bit of steam, but we still here. We still here. Debbie, you should think about it. I give a lot away, and a very small group of people right now are just cleaning house. So there's a lot of room for people to come in and just make hand over fist back what they paid for. Number 8. Number 8. Let's find out who number 8 was. Boom. That would be Miss Sheena. Miss Sheena was number 8. And Sheena actually made this shirt that I'm wearing right now. Thank you, Miss Sheena. Debbie Pot. Speaking of Debbie Pot, I see you right here at the top here. Here, let's do that. You need to. Yeah, it would be great. Hey, Trent. Who else is here? Hashtag WTIF. To get on the door prize wheel. Congrats to Sheena for winning an Indoor Farmer coupon. Who we got over on the Rumble? We got Alice. We got Kayla. Dun, 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 dun. We got Rose. We got Diane. We got, it looks like, other than Trent, you're outnumbered. We got Trent plus hashtag the ladies of WTIF in the house. Bum, 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 bum. Got you, Diane. Okay. And feel free to jump over to Facebook or vice versa, Trent, if you want to go to Rumble. Get yourself a second spot on the wheel. I appreciate it. I would prefer everyone going to Rumble these days. Really trying to push Rumble, and if you're watching me on Rumble and you just haven't decided to follow, hit that follow button, if you will. Now with this music playing, we can talk softly about following me and my Rumble channel. We got 3 more people in here. We could do a quick read at the end of the show here. It would be nice. Ronaldo in the house. Mr. 505 is alive. We got the 505 on the Facebook and the Rumble. We got Margaret Jet on the Facebook. Kayla, it says Kayla is watching, but I'm not seeing any Kayla comments on the Facebook. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, thanks, Margaret, for doing that. Congrats to Miss Sheena. We got Alice over on the Facebook. Let's go. We got Diane on the Facebook. It really does help to, sort of tickle the algorithm when you pop back in there and tickle the comment section, You get nothing for the YouTube, Ronaldo, but I do appreciate you going over there. It's nice, Who knows? Maybe someday I'll get seen on YouTube. I was mixed nutrients to feed them projects. Nice. That's okay. No worries, man. No worries. We got plenty of time. Well, we got 10 minutes. John, you won the other day. I don't know how you're ever gonna pick that prize up, though. It's gonna be tough. Kayla, there you are on the Facebook. John, I need to see a hashtag WTIF is the best from John. That's what I need to see. Saying I was on Facebook is not the same thing, Rose. Everybody's jumping back over at now, even if they were there earlier in the show. A lot of people just jumped back over and then they jumped back on the Rumble. Got almost 10 on the Rumble. Let's go. Let's go. One more, and I'm gonna show you guys what's up. Let's see. Anything good? Anything good? It's like a 19 cents. What is this called? The GK Publishing. I don't know about the GK Publishing. I'd like to. Wouldn't you guys like to know about the GK Publishing? Margaret, I got you on the Rumble now too. Boom, boom. And then there's Rose. Thank you, Rose. That's the hurdle that you have to jump through for the second spot. Gotcha. I gotcha. Hey, all right, John. John Doe. John Doe. All right, let's go. One more on Rumble. Let's get it. One more on the Rumble. Can we get it all the way? If you haven't done so, hit the like button on the Rumble. I appreciate it. Maybe let's see some I don't know, some fire emojis or some hearts or something, stars and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, whatever you got. Throw them in the chat, in the Rumble. We'll see it. Let's see it pop. We're neck and neck. Rumble and Facebook, both sitting at 9. Well, Facebook's not giving me any kind of ad read when I get to 10. When I get to 10 on the Rumble, we're gonna read about whatever it was I said. Oh, they took away. Oh no, going the wrong way, and it took away the prices. That's weird. Thanks, Alice. I don't know how to share out the Rumble. Yeah, I mean you can share out Rumble, but you can also share Rumble within Rumble using the reshare button or whatever it's called. We lost one from both sides. Both sides were triumphant today, and both sides had a loss. Anyway, it's a good show. If you didn't catch the earlier portion of me hanging out with the Soil King, us chilling, had some good tidbits of information in there, and also a good relaxed conversation. I thought it was good. Okay, well, I'm not going to sit here and wait for that all day, so let's go ahead and spin. I've got plenty of reads done already for the month, so 20 cents isn't gonna kill me. Are you cooking turkey for Thanksgiving dinner? But for everybody. Talking about my Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving doesn't necessarily have to be Thanksgiving food. And even Thanksgiving doesn't have to be turkey and ham and stuffing and cranberries and green beans and ham, tomato. No, it doesn't have to be all that. It can be whatever you want it to be. You found it. I shared it from. Okay, nice, Alice. Thanks. I do appreciate it. Diane again. 2 days in a row. 3 days in a row. Oh no, went over to the 505. Woo, woo, woo. We got the 505 in the house. Are you here, Ronaldo? Amazing results on the Grape Dreams. Ah, that project sounds delicious. Working on the twistedcannabis.com tester beans, huh? Grape Dreams. Very nice. Charity, hello. I host Thanksgiving several times a year worth multiple different kinds of with multiple different kinds of food. I was born on Thanksgiving Day, so it's my thing. Oh wow. So you embrace it. You're not like, I hate Thanksgiving because I never get my own birthday. You're here? Okay, I see you, brother. I see you. I see you. Very cool. 505. Congratulations, Ronaldo and Sheena. And we got Diane and Jess and John Doe and Diane again, all winning this week so far after game night. All right, about 3 o'clock. We're getting close to the wrap-up time. I'm going to head over to Locals for the after show, the after sesh. It's free. Sign up on Locals. It's free. Log in. It's free. Join my community. That's even free. But if you want to get in on the giveaways and the number wheel and such, those things are paid members only things. The after show, like such as this here, let me unpin some of these. The number wheel needs to stay on the top. Okay. Yeah, just like a private sesh where we watch some funny music videos or something and we chillax. Gonna head over there right now. You have a good day too, Kayla. Thank you for hanging out. And everybody else, if you haven't yet done so, hit the like button. And we'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time for people in the boxes. Don't forget, you can play the game from the comments on Thursday nights now. It's a really cool thing that we do. We call it Story Boxes. It's very awesome. I love it. It makes it so much more fun. It's going to be good. Come and see us. Come and join it in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time. We'll see you on Locals right now, though, for a little hangout before the school bus gets here. We're going to watch some Kill Tony, I think, for a little while. We'll see you over there. Peace. Thanks, guys. Remember, everybody has to eat.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Waylon the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Waylon's here, and he's